Right now, we are living through the largest transfer of wealth in human history. By the year 2048, an estimated $124 trillion will move from older generations to the next. This chart shows the massive gap between initial projections and the new reality. Just a few years ago, analysts expected an $84 trillion transfer. Recently, they had to revise that estimate up to $124 trillion. The first major driver behind that massive revision is the pandemic-era explosion in asset prices. Across the board, equities jumped by 27%. At the exact same time, housing markets surged. Between 2020 and 2023, the value of real estate climbed by 39%. Because the people holding these rapidly appreciating assets were aging, older households now control 61% of all American wealth, a sharp increase from just 3 years prior. This data funnel shows where that $124 trillion actually goes. Despite this growing pool of money at the top, 37% of baby boomers surveyed say they will leave behind absolutely nothing. Another 26% expect to leave less than $10,000. The total wealth remains, but it grew inside the accounts of a select few. For the vast majority of everyday people, the expected inheritance is a complete illusion. Consider the typical middle-class earner. He works his entire life, saves consistently, and follows the rules, expecting to build lasting security for his family. But that life's work hits a wall as biology takes over. The average couple retiring today will spend over $300,000 out of pocket on healthcare before they die. The specific drain comes from end-of-life care. Assisted living and nursing homes routinely pull between $8,000 and $12,000 from savings every single month. There's a widespread assumption that government assistance steps in. However, Medicare is designed for acute needs and fails to cover long-term residents in care facilities. Without that safety net, a lifetime of unprotected savings is rapidly consumed by medical bills. Taxes and the compounding effect of inflation further erode the family's purchasing power until the estate vanishes. Hospitals and care facilities systematically consume the middle-class inheritance before it ever reaches the next generation. Meanwhile, $35.8 trillion of the transfer is routed exclusively to ultra-high net worth households. That's an enormous sum flowing to just 1.5%. These individuals undergo the exact same biological aging process and face the exact same physical decline, yet their wealth survives entirely intact. Instead of holding assets directly, the wealthy place capital inside protected legal entities, sealing it in a vault. This strict boundary actively deflects lawsuits, taxes, and inflation. Belonging to the structure, the capital completely bypasses medical depletion, delivering wealth safely to heirs. The survival of this capital is the direct result of applying a specialized financial architecture to the assets. This line graph tracks the macroeconomic consequence of these two diverging paths over time. In 2011, the top 2% of households held 33% of all American wealth. Today, that share has climbed to 44%. Conversely, the bottom half of the baby boomer generation will transfer almost nothing to their children. The divide between these two outcomes is driven by a severe gap in financial education, specifically the knowledge of how assets are structured to survive their creator. Trusting the default financial system guarantees that a lifetime of savings will remain fully exposed to systemic end-of-life expenses. Without legal shielding, standard savings are washed away when the inevitable wave of healthcare and aging costs hits. Unless the middle class learns to protect assets inside surviving structures, the great wealth transfer will continue to operate as a massive wealth concentration machine.